So I'm going to get right into it today and tell you about the last time I was in San Francisco. So I thought it'd be fun to take Amtrak's long distance train, the Coast Starlight. So I did, from Seattle to San Francisco, and it was great going down, but getting back was a completely different story. I think this is around 2018, and Northern California had some pretty severe forest fires, and as a result the railroad track was shut down. Also, Interstate 5 was shut down, and if there's any Californians watching, and undoubtedly there will be at some point, it is Interstate 5, not the 5. So yeah, I'm getting straight into it, and I'm spicy. So Interstate 5 was closed, and I think this was a Friday or Saturday that I was returning, and I needed to be back to work on Monday. So my only option was to fly. So because it was the weekend and it was last minute, and the fires in Northern California caused there not really to be many flights left. So from the time I got my ticket to the time the plane was taking off was like something ridiculous, like 6 hours. And the flight was not from San Francisco, it was actually from Oakland. And at the time, I was at the Greyhound terminal because I thought I'd be able to get a bus to Oregon, Medford or Grants Pass, and then get on the train there. But of course, Interstate 5 was shut down. So I had to gather all my stuff. I ended up taking the subway or the metro out to Oakland and catch my flight. It was really unfortunate I didn't get to do the long distance train back. It was a really good time, but that's what happened the last time I was here in San Francisco. So because I've already done San Francisco, I'm not actually going to do that on this trip down. Maybe a future one I will, but I'm going to do the rest of the bay on this trip. So Oakland, Fremont, Berkeley, things like that. So right now I'm in San Rafael. I'm on the San Francisco Bay Trail. It's actually 350 miles, and they're expanding it to over 500 miles. So the plan for today is, here in a moment, I'm going to cross the San Rafael Richmond Bridge, and I'm going to go to the Knox shoreline. Then I'm going to go to the Mountain View Cemetery. It's on one of the top spots to go in the Bay Area. Then I'll go out to Alameda, and if I have time, I'm going to go over to Fruitvale. I've heard they have a lot of taco stands and food trucks out there, so definitely check that out for dinner. So that's for the plan for today, and then I'll probably be in the Bay Area at least maybe 2 days, possibly even 3. So we're getting into it now in San Francisco Bay Area. You can probably just make it out, but you have the San Rafael Richmond Bridge in the background. This is from San Rafael, and I'm about to cross the bridge. I made it over to the Knox Regional Shoreline. It's a large park, and there's different sections of it, but I'm going to start over here at the Keller Beach section, and then I'll work my way through the park. To get to the section of the park that I'm at, I had to go through this Point Richmond tunnel. Once again, off in the distance is the San Rafael Richmond Bridge. You can probably just make it out. Spinning around, we're starting to get a good look at the San Francisco Bay. You're not going to be able to see it from this footage, but I was just able to make out the Golden Gate Bridge. I'm sure at one point this whole area was heavy industrial, but most of it's abandoned now, including this railroad track. This is looking back at the Keller Beach section of the park. This is the main picnic area of the park. Here it is. It might be hard to see, but there's the San Francisco skyline off in the distance, as well as the Bay Bridge. It's part of the reason why I came over here, to get views that you wouldn't otherwise be able to see of San Francisco and the Bay Area. So this is one of those abandoned industrial facilities. From the looks of it, it's a spot where they could load rail cars onto ferries. I know this is still a thing because they have one up in Seattle that takes rail cars up to Alaska on a ferry. I realized that this hill that I'm standing on now was part of the park, so I just had to come up here. It's some great views of the bay. As I swing around, you'll see. I'm gonna head back to the van now and actually check out this waterfront area before heading up to Mountain View Cemetery. I've made it to Marina Bay Park, and I'm going to check out this waterfront area for a bit. Okay, I've made it to the Mountain View Cemetery. Like I said, this is one of the top spots to come visit when you're in the Bay Area. And just as I was approaching, I could tell that this is going to be a very nice cemetery, and there's a lot of large plots here. As you can see, some of these grave sites are really nice. And as I got further into the cemetery, the sites got even nicer. This site had many close competitors, but I'm going with this is the nicest grave site that I saw in the cemetery. And that's going to wrap it up for the Mountain View Cemetery. I've made it to Alameda, California. It actually consists of 3 islands. Right now I'm on Alameda Island. It's just south of Oakland, California, which is actually what we're looking at now. This is the Oakland estuary, and then across the waterway is the Port of Oakland. I just made a pit stop here to check out this waterway, and then we'll continue on exploring the rest of the island. A good portion of Alameda Island used to be the Naval Air Station Alameda. The installation is now closed, and some of the buildings and hangars are being reused for commercial purposes, but a lot of it's still abandoned. But you can walk around here pretty freely. I did see a security guard patrolling the area. Now this is a section of the former naval base that is closed to the general public. It's where the runways are. There is a small fence that I stuck my camera over to film this. You can see San Francisco in the background. I think they filmed some of the TV show Mythbusters out here on this section of the tarmac. So this is still part of the Naval Air Station Alameda, part of the tarmac, and like I said, it's open to the public, and I was able to walk around here, and I saw other people walking around here, and no one stopped me. This is the USS Hornet, an aircraft carrier. Now I walked down to the far end of the tarmac from the previous shot to film the aircraft carrier. And that's going to be a wrap for the day. Good morning. I'm still in Alameda, California, and I'm checking out more of the waterfront. Here in a little bit, I'm going to go get a tour of the USS Hornet. Now, it's Saturday, and when I'm on the road for a long period of time, Saturday is more of a utility day for me. So I do all my laundry, shower, grocery shopping, and of course upload a video to YouTube. So filming is usually light on Saturdays. So outside of all the utility stuff that I have to do today, the only things that I'm going to do are go on the USS Hornet and to Fruitvale, which I didn't get to last night, to get some tacos, but I did get to In-N-Out Burger. So that's the plan for today. Here's a couple shots of the exterior of the USS Hornet. It's an Essex class aircraft carrier. I didn't bring my GoPro or my backpack with me on the aircraft carrier. I wasn't sure how security was going to be, or if they were going to allow cameras. Turns out they're pretty lax about all that stuff. So about a day has passed now, and I'm in Oakland, California, near the Oakland airport. I found this little trail to stretch my legs this morning. Going back to yesterday, I did the tour of the USS Hornet, and it's remarkable how large that ship is. And it's only an Essex class carrier, and we were only allowed to go on 3 levels on the self-guided tour. So going on to today, I walked on this trail a little bit before doing some driving down to the Fremont and the Mission Peak Regional Preserve. Okay, I'm near the Mission Peak Preserve trailhead. However, it is an extremely popular area, and I had to park about a quarter mile to half mile away. So I had a little bit of walking to do just to get to the trailhead. Alright, I'm in the preserve now, and it might be hard to tell, but these trails are extremely steep. Now, I did find a route that takes me from the Peak Meadows Trail to the Horse Heaven Trail that will lead up to the summit. It's a little bit longer, but I think it will be a lot less crowded. This is looking at the main trail leading up to the summit from the Peak Meadows Trail. You can probably just see it. They probably look like dots, but those are all people. And I counted at least 50 on this section of the trail. So yeah, there's cows in this preserve, and I came close to several of the cows on the hike. They just kind of meander onto the trail. Okay, I'm at this ridge line and I'm almost at the summit now. And this is looking east towards the Central Valley. So this is at the summit, and it's a panorama starting in the north and panning around to the south. I did learn while I was up here that they do have a backcountry campground here at this county park down in those hills. We're looking northwest here from the summit, and you're seeing the south end of the San Fransisco Bay. I took a slightly different path down the mountain, and I'm passing through this wash. There is a little bit of water running through here, and I'm actually surprised at how much foliage there is here in this wash compared to the rest of the park. As you can see, I'm back at the van after several hours of hiking, and as you probably also can see, the sun is starting to set, so that's a wrap for the day. Well, good morning. I'm in San Jose and I'm on the Guadalupe Trail. Today I'm going to check out San Jose, and then this will be the last day in the San Francisco Bay area, and after this we'll start making the grind down towards LA. So as I was walking on the Guadalupe Trail, I noticed this garden area. This is the Guadalupe Garden. So of course I had to check it out before going into downtown. Of course everything looks dead right now because it is winter time. I made it into downtown San Jose, and I'm right across from the convention center. This building and this plaza are part of the San Jose Center for Performing Arts. This is looking northwest along Alameda Street. I thought it was kind of cool. They had palm trees lining the center of the road. Here we have San Pedro Square Market. It has a bunch of shops and a bunch of restaurants with outdoor seating. This whole street has been converted into space for the market. It's still pretty early, so most of these restaurants are closed right now. Okay, I moved over to St. James Park. It's just a few blocks away from the San Pedro Square. I figured I'd come over here and check it out for a moment and then continue on. I thought this sign for the Museum of Art is pretty interesting. And it's right next to Plaza de Cesar Chavez. This is Plaza de Cesar Chavez. It's on Market Street and it's a couple blocks long. As I was walking back to my van, I noticed this Rube Goldberg machine. I think it's part of a museum, not entirely sure, but I thought this exhibit was pretty interesting, so I had to stop and take a look at it for a moment. So this is the Adobe World Headquarters. You might be wondering why I'm showing you this in the last clip. Is because some of you may know Adobe makes Adobe Reader, which you can open PDFs. Some of you even know it from Photoshop. But they also make Adobe Premiere Pro, which is the software that I use to edit all my videos with. And this is going to be a wrap for all of my time in the San Francisco Bay area. So I want to thank you for watching.